lovely people we have in here. Welcome, kiddies. Uncle Tony has returned. We are now going to do a lovely live stream on the Day of Gnarly. I came up with the Day of Gnarly as the subtitle because, well, it's a gnarly day, isn't it? We're going to have to put the microphone a little more in my direction. That'll be lovely. Oh, there I am. Okay, now, let's see. Set the quality for 144p, toaster quality. That way, I'm not competing with the bandwidth. Okay, so let's see who's going to pop in here. Right now we've got Pete Knox. Hello, hi, how you doing? Hola, hola amigo. Or in Japan they would say konnichiwa. Or in Hawaii they would say aloha. Anyway, Ali says, hi, how are you? Pretty lovely. Jordan Strang says, hey Killbot, met Steve Harris from Maiden last night. Such a legend. Oh, how'd you manage to do that? Did you get a meet and greet? Or did you see him out and about? Elric Godslayer says, I am so jealous of your hair. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. I trimmed it about a week ago, just to keep it healthy. I probably trimmed it a little too soon. The last time I did it was November, so I think I'm going to wait a little longer this time. Make sure it grows to be healthy. Pedro's in here. I'll be damned. He says, hey, I miss you. I miss you too, sugar. I know the distance is hard, but, you know, other couples have made it through. I'm just playing, man. Hey, but, you know, it was good to meet you. For those who don't know, that is Pedro Lopez. He is in a metalcore band known as Midway Breakaway. He gave me a shirt for his band. I wiped my butt with it. Anyway, Tamer Dark Soul and Brainwashed Victim. CD Sandwiches says, hey, I liked the OopsAllBlackMetal video. Why, thank you. Ken Andrews liked the video too. I sent him a link after I uploaded it just to see if he would enjoy it and possibly if Obituary would repost the review. It doesn't look like they did that, but Ken did say that I would be let into the show the next time they come around. I love Obituary. I'm Killbot. I love Obituary. That's usually people's impression of me. You know what? Let me see. Serene Pierre. Hey, Tony. How you doing? You know what? Let me see if I can... Actually, the Wi-Fi is turned off on this, I think, so... Yeah, that's not going to do any good. This will come in handy later. So I'm just going to have to stick to reading these off the laptop, aren't I? Let me get a box. Box of metal. Box of rice. That's going to be situated. Lonely Milk says, hi, Killbot. Are there any albums you were looking forward to or any shows that are coming up? Well, I have a ticket for The Residents. They're coming to Carborough in April, I believe, and that's going to be pretty awesome. It's going to be a show unlike any that I've ever seen because The Residents, they're more of an art collective than a band, I would say. And so their live show is a bit unconventional, and in the old days, it took them 10 years, I think, before they played their first live show. I don't know. Let's see, Steel Panther is playing in Greensboro on the 27th, so yeah, I'm preparing to laugh my ass off for that one. I haven't been to a metal show in so long. Ministry was the last one I went to when they opened for 9 Inch Nails. Sorry. But yeah, Steel Panther. So the face value of the tickets are $22 a piece. However, when you buy them on Live Nation or Ticketmaster, the fees add up and the end total ends up being $41. I swear to God, there's a processing fee, a convenience fee, and the taxes. A processing fee and convenience fee it's like they charge twice for the same service. I don't know. I don't understand it, but it's like, fuck, man, I could almost buy a second ticket for that. Now, I can understand some fee, like a small fee or a tax or something, but when it's almost the price of a single ticket, like, what the fuck? So, a friend of mine is having a photo exhibit tonight. And while I'm in Greensboro, I may as well go to the box office of the Coliseum to see if I can get that ticket and save on the fees. Because it seems like when I buy in person, it's slightly cheaper than when I buy it online. I don't know. I think it also depends on if it's a Live Nation venue or not, which most venues are. But the time I bought the ZZ Top tickets and the time I bought the Iron Maiden tickets, last time I saw them, it was cheaper because I didn't buy them online. So I saved about $30 that time. Pedro Lopez asks, what are the most disturbing songs you know? Go listen to Prowler in the Yard by Pig Destroyer. The lyrics are pretty fucked up, and it ties the album together nicely. Man, I could use some Pig Destroyer. Serene Pierre, be prepared for Michael Starr's impression of Ozzy Osbourne. I'm willing to pay good money to see an entire show of it. Dude, I don't know what to prepare for with Steel Panther because, like, I love the albums. Always love the albums. I laugh my ass off when I listen to them, but live, it's like, okay, for one, there's a lot of boobage, which, you know, I've seen some boobage at concerts once in a while. I've seen it at Cannibal Corpse, like the second time I saw them. And apparently there's going to be a bunch here, so, hey. But hey, Steel Panther, you know, that's a rock show right there. Not any of this watered down pussy shit that people listen to, you know? Who else? Elevate's touring pretty soon. Death to All and Suffocation announced a thing recently, which, if Frank were still in the band, I'd go see Suffocation, but look, I've seen Suffocation 3 times. The first 2 times, it was with a different singer. Understandable. The third and final time I saw them was with Frank. It was on their Farewell to Frank tour. And after I saw that, I said, yep, now I never need to see Suffocation ever again. But anyway. Potato Education. I have an obituary show in 4 days. What should I do while I wait? Prepare yourself with their albums, I suppose. And familiarize yourself with the new album, because when they release a new album, they tend to play several songs off of it. And the new album was pretty good. I liked it. Now, a friend of mine recently said, oh, well, I heard this new album, but, you know, it seems like it's just upgraded versions of songs from the past 2 albums. To which I responded, well, it's Obituary. They have 3 riffs that they play. And with each album, there's a slight variation. So there's just enough of a difference to make you buy the new album, but it's pretty much the same thing each time. It's kind of like AC/DC, you know? Or Bolt Thrower. You know, there's just enough of a variation to set it apart from the other albums, but, you know. Elric Godslayer. Killbot, you're ignoring me. I talked to you earlier, man. Responding to everyone else but me. I'm not being a simp, dude. I was just trying to feel some happiness. My dad just died, dude. I'm sorry your dad died. But I was not ignoring you. I pointed you out earlier. I'm trying to get to everybody. You know, go out and do some fun stuff. Try to keep your mind occupied and be with family. Because that shit sucks. Loisa Smith, Killbot, I could do an impersonation of you. I'm Killbot, Metal, she's the Dame of Darkness, baby. Thank you. Love your impersonations of the Daria characters video. You're the best, dude. Cool hair. Why, thank you. I was watching some Daria yesterday, in fact. The episode where they're going paintballing, and DiMartino's like, oh yeah, we're looking for parent volunteers. That's if your parents can take time off their busy schedules being sycophants. Yes, Kevin! My dad's not a sycophant, Mr. D. He's a contractor. Kevin, stay close to me when we get to the paintball field, all right, son? Sure. DiMartino and his pulsing eye will never get old. I've been watching that show since I was 15, and I never get tired of watching it. You know, it's kind of like old Simpsons. You know, you can watch it over and over again, and it still rings your bell. Honor my father, please. He was a fan of yours, too. Really? Well, sounded like a good guy then. But, Pedro says, the last concert I went to was the Trinity of Terror tour. The fans there were all pretty douchey and kind of turned me off to the fan base of Motionless in White and Ice Nine Kills. Wow. That stinks. The last show I went to... What was the last show I went to? You were there! It was the Misfits! And in between there, I've been going to goth nights, and they've been pretty fun, you know. Goth Night at the Wicked Witch, it's always a nice time, you know. Actually, the one on New Year's Eve, I met somebody that night who I didn't recognize at first, but then they messaged me a few days later, and it turns out we went to college together. We had the same class, I just didn't know it was her. Because, see, I've done my best to block out my past life before 2017, and unfortunately, she was among them. So, she messaged me a few days later. It was like, wait a minute, what college did you go to? This college. It's like, oh yeah, you were the guy that was always wearing those fucking headphones. Yep, yep. And nothing's changed. I wear my headphones every day, to this day, everywhere I go. You know, it's really nice. Potato education. Do you live outside of the city? Well, yeah. Live out in the country, between two cornfields. That's why my Wi-Fi sucks, because I have no Wi-Fi. I'm going off of cell phone signal. See, in a typical Killbot live stream like this one, where I'm sitting on my couch, there's usually a technical difficulty or a problem that arises. In fact, I'm surprised one hasn't happened already, but give it another hour. We'll see. So, let's see. What else can we talk about? Okay, so what... Oh, here's something we can talk about. My CD collection. So today in the mail, I'm going to be getting Farstucker by Lords of Acid, which is usually not everybody's favorite Lords of Acid album, but it has good songs like, you know, Lucy's Fucking Sky, Praise the Lords. Rover Come Over usually cracks me the fuck up. The lyrics are ridiculous. And Sex Bomb, my theme song. Well, here I am, baby doll, a free man. You know what I mean? But as far as CDs go, I have them cataloged, and I own 934 CDs. Holy shit. Yep, a lot of CDs, and people sometimes ask me, oh, well, where do you get the money to buy all these things? Dude, it's taken years to build this collection. You know, just like all the vinyl that I used to have, it took years to do. Years of birthdays and Christmases and grass being mowed and jobs and YouTube paychecks and all sorts of other things, you know? It's a slow process. And most of what I buy is used. But even used CDs are fucking expensive now. I paid $28 yesterday on eBay for Godflesh's Us and Them. When did Us and Them become out of print and hard to find? It's Godflesh. You know? But, you know, it's one of those things where, hey, you gotta live within your means and buy when you can. Tyran Vestal, shout out from Mike, Missouri. Love your content. Why, thank you. I drove through Missouri once. Or rode through there. No, I didn't. It was Mississippi. Fuck. Okay, what are you saying, Elric? Rest in Brutality, Brian James McLean. Yep, Rest in Brutality, man. Anyway. What's your favorite type of pizza? You know, I like Domino's extra pepperoni and bacon. The cool thing is, if you order it on the app, you get points. And those points, if you get enough of them, you get a free pizza. But for $9.99, you can get 5 toppings if you order carryout. And yeah, the bacon adds just the right amount of crispness. It's just so fucking good. But let's see, there's Michelangelo's Pizza in Greenville, North Carolina. There's another one in Morehead City that's fucking awesome. Of course, there's Chicago Deep Dish. Can't beat that. What else? Rosa Rosa's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's another great one. Pizza Delicious in New Orleans. And what else? There was a good place in Dallas. Serious Pizza in Dallas, Texas. Holy fuck. A friend and I went to that on the day I went to see the Misfits, and we were both like, whoa, holy fuck. So good. Okay, Ninox111 says, how have you been? It feels like it's been a year past. Been doing pretty good. Been enjoying myself on the upswing of things, and I believe that I've already written the next video, so I'll probably be filming that tomorrow or Sunday. Oh, you want to hear some bullshit? So, my table. I was getting up yesterday, and as I was getting up, I grabbed the bottom of the table. And it fucking splintered me. I don't know if anybody can see that, but like it was this big giant chunk of wood that fucking splintered my thumb. That hurt. That hurt bad, you know? And that took forever to get out too, which my hands have been getting kind of injured a lot lately. It was like, okay, so one of these fingers, I cut myself on a piece of glass that I didn't even know was there. This one, I was doing jumping jacks and I hit my hand on a plastic storage tub. That hurt like hell. Because you think you have enough space. But when you do jumping jacks, you move to the left just slightly. And when you raise your arms up, doom, doom, that hurt. Good Lord. Felix Wolf, hey, how you doing, man? It's been a while. Fucking come to shows more often. I'd like to see you again. You know what? Come to Steel Panther. Greensboro. The 27th. They're also playing Charlotte, but fuck that drive. I hate that drive. Lord Metal Blade. What's worse, getting a splinter or jamming a pinky toe on a random corner? That's a tough one. They both suck. You know what? The pinky's worse. The pinky toe's worse. Because I've done that a few times, and each time I just wanted to punch some walls. Insexum says, gotta say, man, you're responsible for putting me on to bolt thrower, and I'm eternally grateful for it. Whoa! Yeah. I was listening to some bolt thrower the other day. For Victory. That little break in the song. Man, you listen to that song and it sounds like Godzilla attacking a city, you know? It's so fucking powerful. Daryl Zara says, hola, way, hey, how you doing? What's your next concert? Steel Panther. Steel Panther. Okay, so while I'm thinking about it, I may as well show you lovely people the new shirt that I got recently. Where is it? So, a gentleman by the name of Alpesh from Montreal, Canada, decided to send me this Napalm Death shirt. They were one of the first metal bands that I ever got into, and many of you have probably seen the video I did called Overanalyzing Napalm Deaths You Suffer. So you know how much Napalm Death means to me. They were my second death metal concert, and holy shit, the memories from that night. Ooh, so good. Thank you, Alpesh. Such a nice gentleman. I love my fans. They send me such nice things. You know, in fact, I had one recently who sent me a bunch of Fetus albums. You know what? I'll show you some of the stuff that he sent me, and then I'll show you some of the stuff that I bought recently. So, Let's see. This one's cool because on Discogs it's like 80 bucks, and when you buy this band's albums, they're like $30, $40 a piece. But here we go. Suspiria, Dance Floor Tragedy. The Best of Suspiria. Excellent, excellent band. It's goth music, but, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, fuck, you know, that's perfect. Like, he found a bunch of these albums in a thrift store for cheap, like $3 a piece, I think, and he bought them so he could flip them and sell them on Discogs. Let's see, while we're talking about goth music, of course, we got Slight Case of Overbombing by Sisters of Mercy. And the only reason I bought that one is because of the 1992 edition of Temple of Love. Let's see, we've got Miranda Sex Garden, Suspiria. Okay. We have, what else do we have? Oh yeah, we got a bunch of Fetus stuff. My goodness, let's see, there's Fetus right here. You know, the funny thing about Fetus is like they keep changing the name of the band. Let's see, this one says You've Got Fetus on Your Breath. This one says The Fetus Symphony Orchestra. This one just says Fetus. It's kind of like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, how they kept changing the name of the show. It was the same exact show. Nothing changed. They just kept changing the name of it just to fuck with people. But yeah, so there's that. Let's see, what else? Frontline Assembly, Epitaph. I still haven't heard this one, believe it or not, and I've been a big Frontline Assembly fan since 2016. Let's see, we've got Decrups. Good stuff, good stuff. And there's a whole bunch more that he sent me, but hey, may as well show you all some of the other stuff I've been getting, such as... Oh yeah, Legendary Pink Dots, he gave me some of that too. But let's see, what else did I get that's worth pointing out? Okay, so let's talk about a band that I should have gotten into years ago, okay? Rylard says, speaking of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, there was an episode that featured Glenn Danzig. Yep, I watched it on Halloween. Can you make the blood run up the walls? R-Scro content. What is your reaction when a tour that looks really good comes nowhere near you? My reaction is, you motherfuckers! I usually say it out loud, too. Hey, but while we're talking about good tours, let's talk about bad and weird tours. Okay, here's a tour that was announced pretty recently. Mastodon, Gojira, and Lorna Shore. Okay, I'm not familiar with Lorna Shore. I like Gojira, and I like Mastodon. Neither of those bands belong on a tour together. I guess the idea is that since they both play on the same festivals all the time, they're like, oh, well, you know, people who see us usually see us with the other band, so won't be an issue. Dude, no. They're different bands. That is a bad lineup, man. What's the worst band you've seen live? Hatebreed. And it wasn't because of the band themselves. Well, actually it was. It wasn't because of their music. It was more because the audience were a bunch of assholes fighting each other, and Jamie decided that he wanted to stop the show every time somebody got in a fight, which happened over and over and over, and he went on these big minutes-long rants on how fighting is bad and how bands get sued and all that stuff, and it's like, after a while, it's like, dude, let security handle it. It just came off as whiny, but Randy Blythe was there, and he got to sing a song with them, so that was pretty cool. I saw him walk past, and I was like, Randy! And he waved at me. So, let's talk about a band that I should have gotten into when I was younger. Killing Joke. Oh, yeah. Been listening to a lot of these guys lately. And I'll tell you a story about them. I knew that Paul Raven from Ministry was in Killing Joke. and I've been a big Ministry fan for a lot of years, but never listened to Killing Joke until starting in November. I was at Goth Night, and Love Like Blood played, and it hit just right on that fucking dance floor. And as soon as I got home, I ordered half the catalog. Including this. This is the singles collection, but this is the 3-disc edition. Okay. So the normal version has 2 discs. And on this one, it has a 3rd disc, which has a couple of soundtrack songs and a bunch of demos and rare stuff. I am not a fan of this packaging right here. I find it to be kind of lazy. Come on. Plastic holders, please. There's no way to not scratch these. But hey, the collection's pretty well put together. It's nice to hear these songs remastered. It's also nice to hear radio edits of songs that I feel like go on for a little too long. Yeah, pretty cool. And you know the cool thing about Killing Joke is that they're one of those bands where a lot of people still love the new stuff. They're just like Rush. You know, a lot of Rush fans are like, oh yeah, the new albums are really good. Really? Because usually it's the opposite with a lot of other bands. You know, they release the best albums early in their career and then never do anything good ever again after like the 5th album. Okay. Where are we going? NTRPK, a lot of letter accounts today. I saw Black Label Society the past year. The crowd sucked, ruined the whole thing. Oh, you bet. A bad crowd can ruin a good show. Now, the bad crowd at Black Sabbath didn't ruin the show, but it was just like, you know, all these old people were just sitting there with their arms crossed. I'm sitting there like, why are you not all going batshit? It's Black Sabbath with Ozzy. Necro666. Big thanks, Killbot, for getting me into Ministry and Typo Negative. Oh, why thank you. Thank you so much. Anime Waifu the Hip Hop Head. That name rolled off my tongue. Hey, Killbot, I'm a new subscriber. I like to say I like your videos. They're hilarious. Keep up the great work. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. Opinion on the band Fear. When they opened for Misfits, I thought they kind of sucked. Really? I thought they were awesome. I was kind of expecting Lee to be playing guitar that night, but hey, I've always liked Fear. Okay, so back to Killing Joke. Yeah, so we're talking about other Killing Joke stuff. They released a couple weird albums in the late 80s that kind of divided the fan base, but then they came back strong. Okay, where's this album? Where is this album? Here it is. Now, this one was expensive and kind of hard to find. This one is called... Ooh, I gotta replace the case on this. Extremities, Dirt, and Various Other Repressed Emotions. Various Repressed Emotions. This one has Martin Atkins, who played drums on Ministry's The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste. This fucking album is a monster, okay? Wide the fuck open. And then, the next album, which made them popular again in the 90s, this album's called Pandemonium. This album fucked my shit up. Seriously, when this stream is over, go listen to this album, okay? I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, we'll start with the first one. Yeah, the first one's awesome. That one, though. Woo! Woo! In fact, I'm probably going to listen to that today after this stream is over. Today, I started the morning by listening to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon and Corpus Delicti. But I'll get to those albums. Let's see, more Killing Joke. There's Democracy, which came out in 1996. Interesting albums. The lyrics have a bit of a positive message to it. You know, has a bit of, I don't know, Hinduism, Eastern philosophy, I suppose. They were into stuff like that. Spiritualism, you know? Okay, let's read these comments before I get lost with them. Harpsagoth says, hello, Killbot. First time I caught a live stream in forever. Time zones really are a bitch. Yeah, I was planning on doing a live stream at about 5 or 6 tonight, but a friend of mine is doing a photo exhibit later tonight, and I want to be able to catch that, so had to reschedule it a little bit. Hey, it wouldn't be a Killbot live stream if a few things didn't go wrong. You know what I mean? Suicidal Grind says it's the same with Dismember, mainly because they never really changed their sound. In a good way, though. They were awesome live last year, and I hear they're making a new album. Yeah, that ought to be pretty good. Lonely Milk. Do you like Hosannas from the Basement of Hell by Killing Joke? Oh, well, that's the next one I'm going to talk about. Oh, boy. This was weird because this came out in 2006, which, again, should have been long after the band's prime was over. The textures on this album, though, this was interesting. This was really cool. Wide open, interesting textures, great variety of stuff. Excellent album. And the 2003 album has Dave Grohl on drums. And speaking of Dave Grohl, they have one of their big songs is called 80s, okay? And it has this riff that sounds like... So a lot of people suspect that Nirvana, when they did Come As You Are, they ripped off 80s. Now, let's go even further than that. A couple of years earlier, The Damned released a song called Life Goes On, which has the same sounding riff. Yeah, so 3 bands with the same sounding riff, and, you know, these 3 songs are also considered among the best with each respective band. It's like, whoa, this is a popular riff. It's a popular riff. And so when Dave Grohl was asked to play drums on the 2003 Killing Joke album, he did not accept payment because he was a big fan of Killing Joke. And I'm sure their response to it was, well, obviously, your biggest song rips us off. But, or one of their biggest songs, I don't know. Okay, back to these comments. Let's see. Necrotopsy Productions says, did you see Obituary and Carcass with Amon Amarth on the recent tour? No, I did not, because my sister was in town for one day only. Typical. And I had to miss that one. Also, the tickets were like $80 a piece by that point, and I said, you know what? No. No. Okay, so what else? I've been filling in my KMFDM collection lately because it's just been a KMFDM type of vibe lately. This is Opium, 1984. Supposedly, this was their first demo back in 1984, before they ever released any albums. And from what I understand, only maybe 50 to 200 copies were made on cassette, and they were handed around to friends of theirs, people in their local scene. It didn't make a lot of splash. And in the early 2000s, Sasha found the master tapes, which were badly damaged. And they were so badly damaged that he had to re-record some of the instruments on the demo with contemporary technology. So, for those who are familiar with early KMFDM, the first couple albums fucking suck. And I say that as a big KMFDM fan. Those early albums are fucking boring. But this supposedly came out before those albums, and it sounds better. And the songs are better. So this is more or less a remake of the original KMFDM demo. And it's really good. It's interesting. What was the song? The Smell? Yeah. The Smell and Cunt Boy. Highlights from that album. Whew. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. In fact, KMFDM is going to be the subject of the next Concert Stories video, which should be coming out next week. I have so many concert stories, and KMFDM's one of them. He's talking about, you know what? I'll save it for the video. Insexum says, I recently discovered that Cannibal Corpse had a show in my city back in 2015. I need a time machine because they're my absolute favorite band of all time, and I would kill to see them live. I've seen them 3 times, and the thing about Candle Corpse is they tour so often that you kind of take for granted that they tour because they do it so much. But yeah, excellent time every time you see them. Hopefully you catch them when George is in a good mood, because I have seen them when he is not in a good mood. And it's both funny and terrifying at once. Drake says, maybe that's why I don't like KMFDM. If their early albums suck, I always check out the band's first albums. Yeah, big mistake there. The first albums you need to check out by KMFDM are Angst, Kneel, and Extort. Those are my 3 favorite KMFDM albums. Some people prefer Symbols. I feel like that's when they started going downhill. The MDFMK album is pretty good too. Now, for those who are uninitiated, MDMFK, where is the CD? It is... Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's kind of hard to read the spine. MDFMK. So, what happened, KMFDM, the original lineup, broke up in 1999. But Sasha and Tim Skull decided that they wanted to still make music together. And so Sasha hired Lucia, who's still in the band, and they made this, which is KMFDM backwards. It's really good. Wish I had heard it a few years ago. It's pretty good. And it's better than most modern KMFDM albums. Their new stuff sucks. Like, their early stuff sucks, and the new stuff sucks. But like, from 1989 to about 2003, 2005-ish, those are your parameters. Set your sights there, bud. Alex the Burb says hello. Hey, how you doing? Elric Godslayer, Devourment rules. I got a Devourment shirt in the Metalhead box once. Awesome stuff. Okay, so what else can I be talking about? Okay. Yeah, so there's this book by Nightwish. Okay, so I've talked about Nightwish books in the past live streams, but apparently there's this new one. Well, not a new one. This came out in 2008, I believe. It's called Dark Passion Gallery. It's a photo book on the Dark Passion Play tour. Okay? I didn't even know this existed. I found out about it by complete accident. And I went to Google it, and there weren't that many pictures of it on Google. So I was almost convinced the damn thing didn't exist. And no stores had it. Amazon didn't have it. eBay didn't have it. And the only place I could find it was on Amazon in Germany. And of course, they didn't ship to the United States. So what I did was I bought a copy, the only copy available on the internet, and I had it sent to a friend of mine in Northern Ireland. And he mailed that out to me yesterday. Or 2 days ago, I don't know. So, yeah. Can't wait to get that. And it's so rare that I may as well do a video on it when I get a chance. Just to show people that it exists. Even the Nightwish subreddit doesn't have any pictures or information on this fucking thing. I emailed the author and I messaged him on 2 other platforms asking him how many copies were made, because I feel like I bought a unicorn. I don't know. I don't know. It's detective work. I like detective work like this, you know? Exposing the existence of a rare and obscure book, like Nightwish Dark Passion Gallery. Okay, so, comments. Tim says, hey, I got a Kill 'Em All album for my birthday. Hell yeah, well that's cool. That's very cool. Brainwash Victim says, have you seen the new Butthole Surfers movie that's in the works? I'm aware that it's being worked on. I've seen the trailer for it, and it looks pretty cool. I can't wait to see it. You know, it's actually going to have Gibby involved this time, so that's going to be nice. He wasn't involved in the book, Let's Go to Hell, Scattered Memories of the Butthole Surfers, written by James Burns. He wasn't involved with that one. James did manage to get everybody else on board. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the visuals of it. And hopefully it's not going to be put together by a fanboy. Actually, the director of this documentary did a Comedy Central show in the 2000s called Crank Yankers. And supposedly he has a lot of puppet stuff going on with the band. So, like, when Keith Morris tells stories about stuff that happened with the Surfers, apparently they got, like, this Gebby puppet that does fun shit. But, Joshua Fritz says, you should collaborate with King Cobra JFS. I don't know who that is. Paxton Meters says, thoughts on Acid Bath. Great band, but buy the originals. Or the new vinyl remasters. Let's see, other stuff that I've been getting lately. I mentioned Corpus Delicti earlier. Well, here is their box set with all of their albums and a disc of rare recordings. I was listening to this all day yesterday and actually listening to the 4th disc before the live stream. And you know what's cool about these? Like, these budget buy boxes are kind of hit and miss sometimes because sometimes they don't have booklets or the packaging's flimsy. But this is cool because this not only has all the albums, but the booklet, and it does have a booklet. It's got this glossy paper. And it's got like a little history of the band with some pictures and stuff. Now, if those fuckers tour, if those fuckers come to the United States, I'm going. I'm definitely going. I'll tell you who else is going. Clan of Zymox is going on tour. And the closest they are coming to me is in Richmond, Virginia, which also happens to be where the guy who got me into metal lives. So, I don't know how much into darkwave or that type of music he's into, but maybe I can convince him to let me crash at his place or something. Because I'd like to meet him. Never met the guy. We've had an email correspondence since I was about 14 years old, so... You know, it's just one of those things where we may as well bring it full circle. Hey, these overseas bands from Europe that are coming to the United States, go see them, because chances are you're not going to see them much after this year because the taxes for these bands, when they come tour the United States, they're pretty high. And that affects the overhead. And if they can't make money touring, they won't be able to tour. So, David Duncan says, metal greetings from Ireland, Killbot. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so Pink Floyd and Corpus Delicti. So Pink Floyd, the reason I listened to them this morning was because I was reading a post that said that they were announcing a 50th anniversary box set of Dark Side of the Moon. Awesome. So I saw that, and it made me want to listen to the album. And, you know, it's still one of the best albums ever made. You know, you listen to Great Gig in the Sky, and it almost brings a tear to your eye. You know. But the funny thing is, Pink Floyd changed their profile picture to like 50 with the Dark Side of the Moon rainbow prism, I guess. The prism rainbow, as seen on the album. And a few idiots were like, oh, you're going woke now? You're doing a gay pride flag now? Oh, well, I'm not listening to this band anymore. Do straight people get flags? Blah, 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 blah. Really? So you're a fan of Pink Floyd, but you're completely unaware of the rainbow on the Dark Side of the Moon album cover. Also, people are just so needlessly fucking hateful, man. It's unnecessary. You know? Anyway. Let's see. Somebody said you don't need... Elric Godslayer, you don't need a justification to listen to Floyd. Nope. No, you don't. You know, even the later stuff, like the Division Bell, just such a rich and well-textured album. You know what I mean? Okay, so what other albums have I gotten recently? Let's see, we've got Lacuna Coil. Because Christina Scabbia is my girl. Love my Italian women. But, okay, that little, we're going to scratch that off the record. But, okay, in all seriousness, though, they're a great band. I had tickets to go see them in September, and then I got COVID and couldn't go. And I couldn't even give the tickets away because everybody was like, oh, well, I'm tired, and, oh, well, I'm going to see these local bands. Yeah, but those are local bands, and those particular bands aren't going to get anywhere because they suck. This is Lacuna Coil. They're awesome. Go see them. You don't even have to pay me. Just I will experience your joy vicariously. Just please go. But, you know. Let's see. What else? Suicidal Grind says, yeah, after growing up a bit, I've noticed how annoying it is that there are even grown adults that are, like, really gatekeepy when it comes to bands and shit. You know, yeah. A lot of people just get way too hung the fuck up on genre types and, this is real stuff, this is not. You know, I used to know a guy who, he's a scumbag. I stopped talking to him, but he used to be a borderline death metal and thrash metal elitist. And so I'd ask him about different bands, like doom metal bands and black metal bands and other stuff, and he just didn't listen to them. A lot of them he never heard of, but it was like, fuck, you know. I mean, a lot of my friends are picky as fuck. You know, people used to get on me for being picky about metal, but the thing is, I'm versatile. I like all different types of metal, for the most part. You know, I'm extremely picky with deathcore bands because I'm just not into the whole breakdowns for no reason thing. I'm also not into the whole metalcore clean vocal thing. I don't know. But the thing is, when you get too gatekeepy, when you get too picky about stuff, you're just missing out on good music, you know? I'm pretty versatile. Alex the Burb. If I ever meet someone who's wearing a band shirt and don't know it's a band, that should pray because, okay, bad punctuation there. Okay, if you run into those situations, initiate them. Combat Path 8. What happened to the Killbot subreddit? As far as I know, it's still up there. I don't run it. Somebody else runs it. And so that's going to be cool. Okay, what else can I talk about? We've been doing this for 47 minutes. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, what was the other thing? So this Corpus Delicti box set. Cleopatra Records did this. I think I paid $36 for it. And another goth band, Rosetta Stone, they have a box set very similar to this. It's called an anthology box set. So I looked at this, I was like, wait a minute, so does that mean all of their albums are in it? Well, it's 10 discs. It has their first album, and the other 9 discs are just live tracks and demos and shit I don't even care about. It's $40, which, you know, that's $40 is the cheapest for how much it's gonna cost to get the first album on its own if you go on Discogs. So, I mean, weigh your options here. Either buy a brand new box set for $40 with a whole bunch of discs that I don't even fucking need, or just pay $40 for the one that's probably gonna be scratched from age. I don't know. It's just, these box sets are just cute to me sometimes, you know? And what else have I been getting into? Oh, here's an interesting one. We have Filter, the Amalgamate. A couple good songs on that album. I met Richard Patrick at an airport a few months ago. Nice dude. Very nice dude. But let's see, what else have I gotten? Now this is gonna shock a few people. Cocteau Twins. Now, these are the originals. At first, I made the mistake of buying the remastered CDs, and apparently the remastered versions are notorious. Some people don't care about that stuff. I kind of do, so after I bought the remastered albums, I rebought the originals. Okay? And here's one. This is a special edition of their final album. It's got this interesting packaging right here. If I can open it. God, I miss CD packaging like this. You know? When they folded out, did cool stuff. And this one's held together by a magnet. See the magnet? But like CD packaging now is so boring, you know? They're bare bones and they're digipacks and they don't fold out. I mean, you still get that new CD smell. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you open it up and you smell the plastic. Okay. Futshas Ananas. Hopefully I got your name right, bud. Do you watch metal guitar content on YouTube? If yes, who's your favorite, or would you recommend some? Well, I did see Sarah Longfield live a few years ago when she opened for Winter Sun. She's pretty talented. Rob Scallon, of course. Excellent work. Dines I used to watch, and I haven't heard anything about Dines lately. What's he been up to? The most I'll watch as far as guitar stuff is, you know, stuff that Glenn Fricker does, because he's been doing these videos on guitar pickups and debunking myths about how they're going to drastically alter your tone if you're doing high gain distortion stuff. And as predicted, the comment sections on Facebook and on these gear forums have been ripping him to shreds. You know, I used to wonder why Glenn Fricker was so damn angry in the viewers' comments videos all the time, and then I did YouTube for a few years, and I understand. I understand completely, because sometimes you do things and it goes way the fuck over people's heads, and no matter how well you explain it, it just... Like the drinking video I did in November. I don't know how I could have explained it better, but a lot of people are like, oh, fuck off. Smiley Glad Hands. Killbot and Gorgor attack. Fuck yeah. Oh, why thank you, bud. Suicidal Grind says you can make a great tone with a shitty guitar. That's all, basically. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the biggest thing that matters, your amplifier is going to matter, and your speaker is going to matter. And the microphone placement. Obviously, because those color the tone more than your strings will, more than your pickups will. Your tone wood's not going to make a fucking difference. I don't care what anybody says. So, there you go. Let's see, any other comments that I haven't gone through? Drake says, hey, Killbot, I'm going to check out KMFDM. Any other industrial bands you think I should listen to? Because I have a hard time finding industrial bands I like. Go listen to Skinny Puppy, Mind the Perpetual Intercourse. Not my favorite Skinny Puppy album, but it's the perfect one to get into first. I also believe Frontline Assembly's Tactical Neural Implant is fantastic. Again, not my favorite record of theirs. That would be Hardwired, but excellent stuff. Also, just a side comment, new industrial I have a hard time getting into because a lot of those bands are so clean sounding and streamlined. The best industrial to me is the 80s and 90s stuff, like the Wax Trax stuff. In fact, a friend of mine got me a Wax Trax shirt as a Christmas present. Thank you so much. Yep. Most stuff Wax Trax is basically a seal of quality. You know what I mean? So stuff like Laibach and the Young Gods. Excellent shit. Also Sister Machine Gun, which you're either going to like them or you're not. They're a little polished. Rock Lover 2008 says, hey man, just listen to the new Obituary album on vinyl. Sounds gnarly. Dude, isn't that artwork something? I'll bet that artwork looks fantastic on vinyl. Okay. Alex the Bird. Wait, you know who Liebach are? My uncle was obsessed with them. Yeah, they're legends. Front 242. That's another one. Check out the albums Front by Front and Official Version. So let's talk about a few things. So I've been experimenting. Well, not even experimenting. I've been wearing cologne more in the past few months. And for Christmas, for those who saw my live stream, I got this Armani cologne, which smells pretty nice. It's got a nice citrus profile to it, okay? It's called Acqua di Gio. Excellent stuff. And lately I've been wearing CK1. I know it's old. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's a dated cologne, but people still wear it, and there's a reason for it. It's got this sweet smell, you know what I mean? So this has been what I've been wearing every day for the past several days. And for a while now, I've also been wearing Very Sexy for Him, which is by Victoria's Secret, and this story I'm going to tell in Concert Stories Volume 3. At the KMFDM show, I wanted to meet Sasha after the show, so I went to the tour buses to get a picture with him. And as we were getting the picture, I was wearing the Victoria's Secret cologne. And as we were taking the picture, he said in his German voice, he said, "You'll smell good." It's like, well, thank you. Sasha of KMFDM thinks I smell nice. Looney Tunes says, what's the difference between colognes and perfumes? Perfumes give me horrible headaches. Well, I think the difference is the concentration and the smell profile, I suppose. Like, some are going to have sweeter smells than others. Also, it's going to make a difference if you do a Eau de Toilette and a parfum. Because a parfum, I believe, is more concentrated, so you don't need to spray as much. Also, for the love of God, there are YouTubers that are saying that you need to spray like 5 sprays of cologne. Don't do that! For the love of fuck! You don't want to choke everybody around you! Believe me, less is more. Okay? Like, look, okay, so, look. 1, 2, maybe, and on the back of the neck, 3. Now, some people are going to say, oh, spray behind the ears in case, you're talking to somebody who's talking in your ear. It's like, no, just 1 on the back of the neck. That's your hot point. It's going to leave a scent trail, and it's going to radiate the smell a little bit because, it's a hot point. Colognes react well to heat. And some people are going to say, oh, well, don't spray it on your shirt. Dude, most colognes aren't going to damage your clothes, okay? So, if you want, just 1 on the shirt, because for some people it does last a little longer when it's on clothes, and 1, under the shirt, on the chest. Some people like to do it on the wrists. I used to like to do it on the wrists. I don't really see the point anymore, as I wash my hands and the smell goes away. I used to also rub the cologne in. Don't do this! It messes up the top notes. I can't believe I'm talking about this on my channel, a metal channel. But I guess the point with the cologne conversation, Anchorman, the movie, Anchorman. For those who have seen the movie, you are aware that there's a scene where Paul Rudd's character is talking about wearing this cologne called Sex Panther, which is illegal in 9 countries. It's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good. And of course he goes out and the stank just chokes everybody out. Everybody hates it. Well, I got curious and did a Google search. It turns out they actually make it. Yeah, Anchorman licensed Sex Panther. And on Amazon it says, not made with bits of real panther. Not made with bits of real panther. And of course, the big joke that everybody laughs about with that scene is when he says, they've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time. Well, in the description, 60% of the time. I can't believe this is real! Serene Pierre, the difference is the proportion of alcohol and essential oils. Perfumes are like 20 to 80, and colognes have more alcohol, and Eau de Toilette have even more. Okay. Okay, thank you for that. There's a guy that I watch sometimes, sometimes, very rare. His channel's name is Jeremy Fragrance, and he has this insane energy. He does these flips and twirls and stuff, and he's got like 1 million colognes. And basically that's his channel's thing, is he reviews and talks about different fragrances. And so, yeah, he talks about, oh yes, don't get the Aqua di Giulio by Armani because, it's very common. It's going to smell like your uncle. It's going to smell like your ex-lover, but you should still get it because it's a common cologne for a reason. It's very beautiful. Anyway. Drake says, I like Skinny Puppy, but more like underground bands because the only bands I like are Ministry, Front 242. Okay, you need to check out Velvet Acid Christ, Fun with Knives. That's an album. And you need to check out Wumpscut. Probably Music for a Slaughtering Tribe. That's a pretty good album. Toxic Paradox XXX. Wait, a metalhead that smells good? Blasphemy. Hey, I like to take care of myself, man. So in addition to the colognes, I also use Old Spice Swagger body wash, and I also use the Old Spice Swagger deodorant, which smells nice. I use the Nivea aftershave, which is an alcohol-free aftershave, so it doesn't dry out my skin and it doesn't burn. And that smells pretty nice too, so there you go. Maya Rain says hello. Hello there. October Russ says, hey Killbot, how you doing? I'm doing wonderful. Harpsigoth says, from my experience, 3 sprays is enough. 1 on the chest, 2 on the hair. See, and it's a big debate whether or not you should even be spraying on your hair because the alcohol might dry your hair out. The other option is, oh, well, if you spray it on the skin, it's going to dry your skin out. I'd rather it dry my skin out than dry my hair out. Trust me. With the skin, I can always moisturize it. But with the hair, well, this is a national treasure. So yeah, back of the neck, and lately I've been doing 1 on the shirt and 1 on the chest, right after a shower. Because that's when the cologne works more effectively, is when your skin is still warm from a shower. Londell Bain says, hey Killbot, love the channel. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, so among the other ridiculous things that are on Amazon, let's talk about Lube Life. Some of you probably have seen this meme on the internet, but if you haven't, I'm going to initiate the fuck out of you, okay? So on Amazon, there's this lube, sexual lubricant, called Lube Life, okay? So here's the normal bottle. Oh, fuck. You probably can't even see that, can you? Well, let's see. Let me see. Okay, so this is just a regular bottle of lube, okay? And they got the different sizes, but they also have this barrel of lube for $970. Yeah, barrel of lube. 55 gallons. But even more than that, they have this fucking tote tank for $4,000 of lube. I swear to God. It's 275 gallons of lube, and the fucking product pictures, they got some guy pushing it. They got people skydiving. They got people fucking skydiving with the lube. That seems like something you'd buy as a joke, like one of these YouTube millionaires. Seems like something they buy as a joke for one of their videos so they can write it off on their taxes. That is... Hey, you know what would be even more fucked up is if somebody bought that much lube, the water tote of tank of lube, and they tried it once and was like, oh, this is making me react weird. I can't use this anymore. Like, use it once and you can't use the other 274.75 gallons. Dear Lord. Fucha Zanana says, I don't know if this is an aftershave, but outside of Austria, okay, punctuation. Petrolon Red is the ultimate grandpa smell. I like it. Well, see, I don't really want to smell like a grandpa or a taxi driver. I want to smell suave, you know? And I smell suave, and people let me know. Okay, so what else? I am looking for a new t-shirt design, and I've been in contact with 2 artists over it, but if anybody else is interested, of course, I'm all ears, because it has been 3 years since the Grind On design has been made public. So, that means it's time for new product, and I'm ready to pay an artist to come up with something cool for me that I can print on a shirt. It will be a one-time payment. I'd have to see a few sketches, and if I like them, he'll be compensated. I get a YouTube paycheck tomorrow, so that works out perfectly. Let's see. Alex the Burb says, how do you keep your hair from getting stuck and ripping out part of the brush? Well, mainly I use a pick right here, and what you have to do is you have to start at the bottom and work your way up. It also helps if you don't wash your hair so often. These days I only wash it once a week because I can get away with that. My hair is typically not that oily. It took a while for my hair to get used to that, but it's used to it now. And so, yeah. It helps because when you're washing your hair, of course, you're ripping out bits of your hair. It's on the shower wall, etc. But yeah, new shirt design. Can't wait to pull that off. Started streaming 66 minutes ago. We got 50 people watching. Okay, so what are you lovely people doing right now? Where are you? Where are you watching this from? Fat24 says, Happy New Year. Why, thank you. Looney Tunes says, having Pepsi in my bedroom. Well, lovely. I'm having Mountain Dew, and Pepsi's on the cup. Toxic Paradox 666 says, watching this before going to a job interview. Hey, hope you get it, man. Hope you get it. Quantasium says, I'm watching from Houston. Have you ever called someone a pussy? Quite a few people. Because some people have a long way to go. And that's young and old. My goodness. Some people are just not prepared for life. Okay. Suicidal Grind. I'm just enjoying the stream. We'll probably try to listen to some more Dark Funeral albums later. Well, that's good. Serene Pierre, watching from France right after my shift. Well, that's good. Metal Ghosty. Sup, my guy? What are your thoughts on deathcore? Carnifex is pretty good. And Hell Followed With is also good, and they're from North Carolina. Vapor Dreams is watching from Corpus Christi. May Credible is watching from Hungary. Nice. I was hungry this morning, and then I went to go eat. So, how many of you lovely people have seen the video that I uploaded on New Year's Eve called Marshmallows? That's right, marshmallows. Oh, this guy's hard now. That sounded wrong. Marshmallow. I saved one of them. It really broke my heart to break that set down because I spent so long building it and decorating the marshmallows, but I kept this corpse paint guy right here because he was just too special. Man, and the parts where I was working the strings, the marshmallows on the strings, it was like they kept getting tangled up in each other, and I got frustrated at one point and just slammed them down. And marshmallows went everywhere. And originally the idea was to have a bunch of marshmallows on strings on a yardstick and twirl the yardstick around, and that was going to be the circle pit. And then I thought, well, what the fuck? Why not just do stop motion? So it took about 146 shots to get that stop motion effect. And it appears to be everybody's favorite part of the video. So, there you go. You know, my view count and most YouTubers' view counts tend to take it up the ass around December and January of each year. And I'm no exception, because the Marshmallows video, I think, got 2,200 views, I think. And had this been March or April, it'd probably get 2 or 3 times as much. If it were 10 years ago, the fucking thing probably would have gotten 1 million views. But, you know, you gotta grind it out. You know, a lot of people, they don't want to put in the work, but hey, it's work worth putting in. It's art. You know? Like, what other YouTube channel, what other metal YouTube channel is going to do a video like Marshmallows? You know, my Ministry video didn't get as many views this time either. Like the Animositatismina video didn't get that many views. The Dark Side of the Spoon and Filth Pig videos got a lot of views. And part of that, I think, was because Ministry doesn't seem like they're as popular now as they were a couple of years ago. But also, people were more active on the Ministry Facebook fan group, which some of those people have a fucking hate boner for me for some reason. People have sent me screenshots. I don't do anything with Facebook. But people have sent me screenshots of some of the shit that people say on there, and it's like, dude, what did I do to you? Did I, like, rape your mother or something? So yeah, between the Ministry video not getting as many views and the typo video, the Redux version, that one got limited ads, which is bullshit, but whatever. So yeah. Looney Tunes says, speaking about Sepultura, their original guitarist was invited to play bass in Ministry, but the label said no because of him being Brazilian. Man, that's fucked up. Al's Cuban! It wouldn't have been a problem in the band. I don't know. Who the fuck knows what labels think? It was Lucia from KMFDM who said that... I think she said that she worked at a label early in her career. And she said that her label boss said, oh, the only way you're going to make it in business as a woman is if I want to fuck you. If I don't want to fuck you, we're not going to promote you. That's fucked up. I'm not sure what it's like for women in the industry now, but hopefully it's better by a lot. or at least somewhat. You know, there are some people who only listen to bands because, oh, well, it's all female, or, oh, they have a woman singer, or, you know, having a woman in the band being a novelty. It's like, you know, listen to Bolt Thrower. They have never brought attention to the fact that Joe Bench is a woman. You know, she puts in the work just like everybody else, and she's fucking awesome. And Bolt Thrower is one of my top 5 favorite bands of all time, you know? Man, my voice is fucked up today. Then, of course, you got Nervosa. They're fucking awesome. Sisters of Suffocation released the album of their career a couple months ago. Excellent stuff. Lacuna Coil. I know I said, oh, yeah, Christina Scabi is my girl. Yeah, I know I said that earlier, but they're legitimately a good band, you know? I don't know. Apparently, like, people talk about that sometimes, like, oh, I've had friends say, oh, well, some people don't take me seriously as a metalhead because I'm a woman. It's like, it never crossed my mind. If you like metal, you like metal, period. You know, metal's for everybody. John Talon says, that's a shame since we live in an overly sexualized culture with women in the music industry. Oh, I can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. Drake says, the reason I know Typo Negative is because my brother showed a video of Pete Steele saying Kurt Cobain was his hero because he had the balls to shoot himself. Yeah, watch Peter Steele say that now if he were still alive. There's so many things that Pete said when he was around that would probably get him shit canned today. My goodness. Hey, but we love him for it, you know? C-Punk Messiah. Masha from Arcona is my favorite female metal singer. Her voice goes from angel to demon just like that. Dude, go listen to Nightwish. Now, they've had 3 singers, all female. And people tend to have different favorite singers for Nightwish. Some people are going to say, oh, well, Tarja, she's my favorite singer because that's the classic era of the band. It fits with those classic songs better. And some people like the poppier direction of Annette, who was the middle era. Personally, my favorite is Floor Jansen, who was the singer in After Forever, and now does some solo stuff as well. But she is Nightwish's current singer, and she has so much fucking violence in that voice. Okay, so I have the Showtime Storytime Blu-ray. And the problem that happens when bands switch singers is sometimes the new singer has a problem singing the stuff by the other singers. Okay, that was the case when Annette was in Nightwish. Okay. That was not a problem when Floor joined Nightwish, because she can sing all eras of the band amazingly, you know? In fact, her version of Storytime and... Oh, what else did she sing? Ghost Love Score. Holy fuck. Like, the first time I saw that rendition of Ghost Love Score, to be honest with you, I wasn't even really paying attention to what was going on. I was folding laundry or something as I was listening to it. And when she did those high notes towards the end, it made the hair on my neck stand up. No shit. But, okay, we've been doing this for 77 minutes, so I should probably be wrapping this up in the next few minutes or so, because I want to keep this rewatchable for those who are seeing this in the future. I guess there's 1 or 2 other things that I could talk about, but I may as well chill with all of you lovely people and read the comments. C-Punk Messiah says, speaking of Nightwish, have you checked out their bassist's old band, Tarot? It's awesome 80s speed metal. Who are you talking about, Marco? Nightwish, Tarot. Oh, Marco's awesome. It's a shame he's not in the band anymore, but I understand, like he left the band because he just couldn't take the pressures of touring constantly and being in Nightwish, I suppose. Which, if you're in Nightwish, you've got crowds of people surrounded by your tour buses after the shows, and, it wears on you after a while. I get it. Fat24 says, what are your thoughts on ska punk? Some of it I like. But, again, I'm kind of picky about it because... Look, I'm a metal guy. I need intensity, I need stuff I can mosh to and go batshit over. Yes, sometimes I can chill with stuff like Cocteau Twins, and recently, actually, I bought Massive Attack's Mezzanine, or Mezzanini, however you pronounce that. But I'm a metal dude, and as much as I enjoy the goth nights I've been going to, they're not metal shows, And I'm sure that seeing those bands live is a different thing than going to goth night and going clubbing, but that remains to be seen because, well, Clan of Zymox is coming, and I'd like to go see them. Elric Godslayer says, hey, check out Usurper and Bones. I know those dudes. You'll like it, I swear. Okay. I'll tell you a band that I heard yesterday. The YouTube algorithm pushed their new music video on me. A band called Hammerhead, with 2 Ds. Hammerhead, 2 Ds at the end. The vocals are like Godflesh meets Ministry, kind of, but they're intense in a way that's subtle. There's not a whole lot of gain or layered guitars in their mix, and it was an interesting song. Listened to it while eating dinner last night. It's really good stuff. Let's see, what else? I guess one last item I could talk about. A couple weeks ago, I got what is called a Happy Light. Ah, fuck. Just ripped the stand off. But, okay, so this is a Happy Light. It is a mood light, for those who don't know. And what this does, this helps with people who have depression and seasonal affective disorder. Now, I'm not depressed, and I've never been diagnosed with any kind of seasonal affective disorder, but, lately there have been gray skies pretty constantly, and I'm pretty bad with days of constant rain. In fact, a couple weeks ago, it was raining all day, one day, and I got really fucking depressed and stayed inside because I couldn't go outside and do anything. It sucked. So I got one of these, and it's helped. Even on dark days. A few minutes of this will make me feel energized. You know what I mean? Like, I feel great right now because the sun's shining. I had a good meal this morning. And I hadn't even had a chance to use this yet today. I'll probably use this after the stream is over. But this right here, like, this is, it has a bit of a calming effect. And it's known to reset your circadian rhythms, which means that you'll probably sleep better. But yeah, it's tablet size. It's got a little timer. It's got 3 different hues of light. And you can increase and lower the brightness. And yeah, for the dark days and for the rainy days, it's doing good things for me. In addition to vitamin D and a vitamin B complex, which turns your pea green. like neon green. Oh, Alex Flamer asks, where did I buy the light from? Actually, my mom bought it for me off of Amazon. They have several different models. This is the Verilux Happy Light, which they are one of the oldest companies that make these. And let's see, they have smaller and more compact ones for anywhere from like 30 to 40 bucks. This one was 70, but yeah. Like most of the time, I'm happy just sitting outside on the swing, listening to music for hours. It's, if I'm not reading or playing Doom or whatever it is I'm doing that day, it's, I'll sit on the swing and just listen to music for hours. Absorb the sunlight, enjoy the nature, enjoy the nice weather, Okay, so well, guess we've been doing this for 83 minutes now, so I guess we better wrap this up in the next minute. It's been lovely talking to you nice people, and I have some things that I need to get done. So, yeah, let's wrap this up. We're going to end this in a couple minutes. Thank you all for joining me. And stay tuned for the next video, which is going to be Concert Stories Volume 3. Got some good ones here. You'll get to hear the story about how I got to meet Ghoul and get them in my video. Anthony Collins says, my girlfriend would like to know how often you wash your hair. Once a week, usually every Saturday. I do Aussie shampoo and conditioner. I also do a protein treatment by Affinity, like between the shampoo and conditioner. And after the shower, I use the Affinity leave-in stuff. And I don't fuck with it. I don't dry it, nothing. I just leave it as is. And I stopped using hair ties recently because they tend to damage my hair, so I started using scrunchies, and my hair has been a lot healthier ever since. Less breakage. What else? Oh yeah, I started trimming it myself as well, which there's a really good YouTube video that I follow as a guide. But basically what you do, you pull your hair back, well, you straighten it first. Then you pull your hair back after you straighten it. And you put a ponytail here, another one here, and basically you just keep putting ponytails every few inches. And under the bottom ponytail, like right where you want it cut, you just go. And then afterwards, basically, there are a couple more steps to this. But you bring all your hair to the front, you line them up because, you know, one part of the hair is going to be a little longer than the other. So basically, you got to bring your hair to the front and even them out a little bit. Do a little upward clipping. May Credible says, this live stream made my day. Bye, Killbot. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, thank you all for joining me. I have some things that I need to do, and I will chat with you lovely people later. Maybe we'll do another live stream soon. I've been enjoying these. So, grind on, folks. Stay tuned for the next video.